She's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my review of The Quad Season 2, Episode 1. Yes, I know it came on Tuesday. Yes, I know it's Saturday. But guess who was busy all week? And I was trying to get to it. The day it came on, I was still not feeling well. I had watched it. I had honestly watched about a good 45 minutes of it. But I was so, doped up on NyQuil. I couldn't get into it, and I had took some notes, couldn't really remember what was going on, and I was like, I'm just going to review that later and not even worry about it, because I was like, hey, if you're going to watch it on Wednesday, you'll watch it on Saturday, technically, yeah. But anywho, I hope everyone is having a great weekend. I am still feeling better, even though I'm still a little bit, nasally or whatever. But it is what it is. What else? I think that's about it, Hope everyone is enjoying their day. The Michigan and weather. The weather in Michigan, Lord Jesus, is getting better. So I was like, I'm going to put on like a little sundress, even y'all only see the top of it. And I want to feel a little tropical. I want to kind of bring the warmness to Michigan, even though it's still January, we're in like the 30s and the 40s. So I felt like, wearing a little sundress around the crib. It is what it is. But that's why this is so bright and so tropical. So watching The Quad, it feels like it's been gone off the air for like 5 years. I couldn't remember anybody's name. I could barely remember what happened last time. I, know that Sydney was raped by the football player dude. I remember, that's like the only thing I remembered. I know the whole stealing of the sheet music and that stuff. But there was little stuff in the meantime, in between time, that I'm like, I can't remember. And I felt like the season premiere didn't remind us enough of things that happened, like little remnants and stuff. I just want like more little, I wanted people to say each other's names a little bit more. I don't remember these people's names. Can you please? I think for the first season of a show and the second season, if it's a long gap in between, they should remind people who people are. I was like, what is Anina Noki Rose's name in this damn thing? I know she's a damn person. What's her name? Couldn't remember the name. So that kind of, aggravated me a little bit. But, it was what it was. We see how the beginning of the episode opened up with a whole little party on the quad. They was having like the movement. I hate this camera sometimes make it look as if I'm sitting sideways, but I'm not. I'm sitting like straight. So sometimes I'm weirded out by how the camera is. I be moving it sometimes. So, but anyway, yeah, so they were on the quad having a little, it was like join the movement type of rally for injustice and all that stuff. Even the things that the rapper was saying was like, what if, all these what ifs and what ifs and what ifs. Okay, cool, great, we love it. We saw that the guy, Cedric, I had to write down his name to remember who he was up there hyping him up and everything. We saw the girl who he slept with, who I believe was a virgin. Learned that because someone else said it. They didn't say it on the thing. Was in the crowd. We saw Nomi, the girl from the band who really sold sheet music. We saw her on here. I think her name was actually Noni. I wrote it down a little bit later. But yeah, we see her in the crowd and everything. And, it was a good time and everything. And then we kind of see how that ends. And then the band comes in playing some slow music, carrying the casket. And I'm like, they don't bury children at college. Like, they don't have funerals at college. What's going on? And then I realized, oh, it's the funeral for the college. And, the casket has the college flag on it. It has the college name on it. An end date, start date, and all that stuff. And we see there was like flashes of the band playing the song. And then flashes of the band leader, Eugene. Is his name Eugene? no, Cecil. And he's at the oncology office. We know that he had, was it cancer? See how I can't remember nothing because they weren't talking about stuff? But, yeah. So, anywho, so we see those two things happening at the exact same time. And then we see the reason the band is having this little mock GAMU funeral is because they were aware that Eva, Anoni Noki Rose's character, the director of the college, was meeting with the Georgia University Systems, which I guess is like, GAMU is a HBCU, a historically black college university. And this other thing is like the white people, okay? What we're going to just call it what it is, black and it's white. And they don't want their HBCU to be taken over, joined with, and kind of just mixed in between with this whole system from a whole different thing. So they're kind of processing that or whatever. So in the meantime, in between time, we see up in the offices, we see Eva, we see the coach whose name is Eugene. I got his name mixed up. Talking to the parents of Terrence. Terrence is the guy who raped Sydney, who was Eva's daughter, and so we see that he was one who actually died at the end of season 1. He actually killed himself, and they're just Eugene is saying how he's so sorry that it happened, how he said he would take care of Terrence, and thank the parents for letting him read Terrence's suicide note, where he was saying how the team was all he had. And because he kind of turned his back on him because he was out here raping people, he felt like he didn't have anything left and he ended up killing himself. And so he's kind of apologizing for that. And then, Dr. Fletcher is a little bit distracted because, one, she don't want to be there because that man raped her daughter, for one. And two, she can hear all the ruckus outside. So she doesn't look out her window and see they out there protesting. But she also sees Jason's crazy ass. Jason is one to watch with his little sexy self. So from there, the parents are asking, like, okay, this is cool, but we have one more request. What's the request? These motherfuckers got the nerve to want Dr. Fletcher, Eva, to apologize publicly to them. And I'm like, for what, though? And my nose is a little bit runny. And of course, Eva's pissed. She's like, I'm not apologizing to them. They son raped my daughter. And they're like, well, yeah, they just said they felt as if you didn't want to be there. I would say, well, motherfucker, I didn't. And it's kind of, it shows how when kids do stuff wrong and they still kind of don't want to acknowledge. It's when a person does something wrong, and let's say they end up dying, they end up killing themselves, or whatever the situation may be, to where they're no longer here, sometimes the family don't want to ignore what the person did that was wrong, and they want sympathy because the person is no longer here. And while you sympathize with the family, I'm not finna fucking apologize to your motherfucking ass. That's not going to happen. And so, Eva's like, I'm not apologizing. No, I'm not doing that. This is that we all on the same page, and she's talking to faculty, not to the people. She's like, I'm not apologizing to that man. He raped my daughter and at least 2 of the women on campus. Girl, bye. No. She do find out why the kids out there protesting because she met with that man. So, it was what it was. We do see a little short scene with Sydney's roommate, Madison, the white girl, her boyfriend, and came to see her and everything. And, Sydney kind of walked in, but she just kind of came in to get like a book or whatever, and then she left out. The only reason I'm even mentioning this scene is because, Madison and the boyfriend do end up having sex or whatever. Why her feet was so dirty? Like, they didn't think to clean her feet? I am a stickler for when you on TV, your feet should be clean. My thing is, I walk around my house all day without shoes on because I don't like wearing shoes in my house. My feet are never dirty. If your feet are dirty from walking around your house is dirty. You're a fucking filthy person. And I'm like, her feet were so, like, dirty. They didn't think, like, they don't clean their floors there. They didn't think to, like, wet wipe her feet or something. I'm like, her feet, they didn't see how dirty her feet were. I'm like, her feet are filthy. I don't want to have sex with somebody whose feet is filthy. That just kind of got me. I'm so sorry. It was what it was. We see Eva and Sydney at therapy. And we find out that Sydney has been going to therapy for like the past 3 months. So we find out it's been 3 months since the last season is picking up supposedly 3 months later. And, she's like, I've been going to therapy every day for 3 months. And I feel like, in a way, Terrence is haunting me and still has control of my life from the grave. And I would no longer want to be held captive by him. So, first things first, I'm not going to therapy anymore. I feel like I'm good. I feel like I can handle things. I feel like I can still journal in my journal and get my feelings out without having to come here every day as if something is still wrong with me. And of course, her mom was like, I'm against it. I think you should still stay here. How do we know the journaling is working? And, she reads an entry from her journal that says, her mother smiles, but no joy goes to her mom's eyes when she smiles. Her smile is basically is a fake smile, which it probably is. It is what it is. She do say that, she's like, see, if the journey wasn't helping, I wouldn't be able to articulate my feelings so well. So I'm good. I'm going to continue to take my self-defense classes, but, I'm not doing therapy anymore. And the therapist like, I agree. If she needs to come back later on, she can. But if she feels she's strong enough to not do it, it's fine. I do think she's strong enough to not do it. She do seem a little bit more good than she was last season. The therapist does, however, ask Eva, well, here's my card in case, you need therapy or if you want to continue. But Eva doesn't think she needs it, so it is what it is. The next time that we see Eva, she's in a meeting with the people from the whole Georgia University systems, this guy named Quentin. And, she's a little bit upset thinking like he leaked their meetings or whatever. And he's like, well, it's hard to keep things secrets here. Meaning, I ain't saying I told, but I'm saying if somebody knew, how hard it is to keep a secret? It's pretty easy to keep a secret if only 2 people know. Well, it's easier if 1 person know. But if it's just 2 people, at least it ain't 3. So, she's just saying how, we're not going to work with you guys. We're not going to do it. You're not the cavalry, so, I'm good. And he like, y'all are in very, very bad financial state. The lawsuit alone from Terrence's lawsuit, is going to bankrupt the school. And, she's like, I don't care. I won't be joining y'all. And that's their whole situation, the whole conversation. I think it's a thing because she didn't want people to know that she even had the meeting. Because having a meeting probably didn't mean that she was going to join with them, but now that people know, she's like, I really can't join with them, now because it's just not a thing to do. So from there, we see that in the same restaurant, it's Cecil. Now, Cecil meeting with his sister, and they're trying to, to celebrate him still being alive, and him, his health is getting a little bit better and everything. And as they're sitting up there talking and chilling and eating their food, in walks or walk past is the guy from the other school who did take his sheet music and did perform the song, at the end of season 1. And Cecil is not happy about that at all. And, he literally tried to choke the shit out of this other man. And it was funny because he was sitting there so calm. And then, he like, oh, well, look who it is. You know what I'm saying? My mortal enemy or whatever. And then he literally jumped up and put his hands around the dude's throat and took him down to the ground like, you stole my music, you piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? You stole my music. I'm looking like, calm down, Cecil. You just getting better, bruh. And you in a public place and you was a grown-ass professor, coach dude, band leader at the college. Calm down, bruh. And it was people everywhere. They're like, oh, my God, Cecil. It was really, really crazy. And, he like, you ain't nothing or whatever. He like, you and that drum major always trying to be me. So the other coach realized he think somebody else did it. And that ain't who did it. Because he Noni's one who gave him the sheet music stuff. And she just framed the person who always had it. And, the other coach replies, like, you know what, check with your protege, you know what I'm saying, ask her how I got the music. And he looked at him like, what? Because if you think about it, from season 1, I do remember that he never thought anyone else took the sheet music except the drum major dude, because that was the only one who had access to it, supposedly. We know that it was really Noni who did it because she didn't like the drum major dude because he was a bad guy too. It was what he did to her friend. And that's something else. For season 1, stuff that happened, like the whole beginning scene with Cedric and someone being murdered and all that stuff. I don't remember if anything with that situation was resolved. The whole girl getting, attacked by the people in the band. Like, they didn't, nothing about that. Nothing. But, okay, it's only episode 1. It is what it is. So, From there, we find out that Madison boyfriend and broke up with her. And, she crying and stuff. So Sydney like, girl, what you crying for? Forget him. He ain't nothing. And she's like, yeah, he came back for like his last sex session. I was just like, girl, I don't care at all. I didn't see the point of having this whole scene. But, it was what it was. And seem like, he gonna get what's coming to him, forget him. And in the next scene we see with them two, they dress up in all black like dang go ninjas looking for his car. And what they gonna do, a typical girlfriend thing, and they went and they beat up his car basically. They got baseball bats, they keyed the car, all this stuff. And the part to me that seemed unrealistic was the simple fact that they left what they used to, beat the car up at the scene. When you mess up with somebody's car, you don't leave nothing with your damn fingerprints on it, hunger. You take it all back with you, okay? And they had the whole Jasmine Sutherland song, bust the windows out your car playing. I bust the windows out your car. That song was playing. So it was a cute little scene. But I'm like, and they walked away slowly. That ain't how it happened in real life. You sneak up. You not walking down there slowly looking for the car. You not holding the whole conversation of what you gonna do. You don't then, you got baseball bats, you got crowbars. She has some big ass keys. I'm like, girl, where you get them big ass keys from? But they left the bag and the baseball bats and stuff sitting there. I'm like, you don't leave no evidence. That is a crime. That is vandalism, girl. You take it with you and you act as if you have no idea what happened. And it looked as if the bag they carried had the college name on it. What the fuck is wrong? So that part to me seemed very, very unrealistic, and how they kind of slowly walked away like, yeah, girl, hand slap. We did something good. You walk away quickly laughing, giggling, like, girl, he gonna, you know what I'm saying? But, it was what it was. But I'm like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You do not leave the evidence at the car. You don't do that. You take it with you, okay? They slashed his tires. But I'm like, you left the stuff in that part I really just couldn't get into. So, we see a little small scene with Eugene talking to one of the classmates, Junior. Junior is friends with the girl, Tanisha, and the white dude. And I don't remember the white dude's name, because they didn't say his name in this episode, I don't think. And we see he talking to Coach, and Junior, the dude, is flunking his classes, so he can't play this season. And he's basically upset as if it's anyone else's fault that he's failing. He's like, this football is all I have. You gonna let the petty, teacher take this away from me? And I'm looking like, boy, you flunking your classes, okay? You can't give it at anyone else because you flunking your classes. And we ain't gonna say, if I'm not playing football, what am I here for? To get a damn college education, bruh. What? It's called college. What's wrong with you? And, he's like, you can get a tutor, it'll be fine. You can play in the fall. And it's the whole thing of him saying, all I have is football. If I don't have this, I don't have anything. Which is the same thing that Terrence was saying before he killed himself. So, we see him walk off or whatever. So later on, we do see the coach call a football meeting with all the people. And he's reading to them Terrence's letter, which said, all I had was this. And now everyone's turning their back on me. I have nothing. And he said, we are all grown men, but, how many of you knew that Terrence was out here assaulting women? Of course, no one said anything. They wasn't going to fess up to that. And he asked one person who was, really close to Terrence, and the dude replied, I only knew what he was telling me. I didn't know anything else. And because I don't think anybody out here bragging about raping women. I don't think that. But he's like, we are a team, we are a family, we need to communicate more, we need to talk more. Even though we are men, and we don't talk no. We need to talk. We should know when things are going on. It's like none of us thought that Terrence would take his own life, and it could be because no one talks about anything. So we need to do that more. He then brings up, Junior grades does not make him eligible to play, and he said the same thing Terrence said, how he don't have nothing if he don't have football. He we can't allow our teammates, our family to be here on this team, and we're allowing them to flunk their classes. And then one dude say, well, is that fair, coach? And I want to say, fuck you. Sin isn't fair. It doesn't mean, if they flunk, it's your fault. It means if they're doing bad, you should want to help them because we are a family, we are a team. You should want to help your fellow teammate, your fellow brother, your fellow man. That's what he meant. He we can't afford to not talk. I think it was a good whole little part, just to bring up how some things can be going on and you don't know what's going on because no one's talking about it. So, he's like, we're a team, we all we have. We have to be more open about what's going on so that we don't lose another person to them killing themselves or just anything because they felt alone, like no one cared for them, So, that was a great whole little scene they had. We then see Cecil call Noni into his office, and he's basically telling her, like, he was giving like a whole scenario of, you have a scab, and it heals, and you can't pick at it. If you pick at it, you have to heal all over. It was a whole little, analogy that I was like, it just sounded disgusting, even though I understood it, And then he says how he's trying to figure out, who stole his sheet music. And she's like, Drum Major Danny did it. He was the only one who had access to it. And I think the fact that she kept saying he's the only one who had access to it made her sound guilty in that aspect. It's like, how did you know he was the only one who had access to it? And why do you keep pointing the finger at him? You know what I'm saying? It could have been, you could have said it could have been anybody, but you said he did it. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, but I don't know why he did it. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching him and following him and work with him, since he was like in middle school. And I just don't understand why he would betray me. And she was like, well, because he wasn't who you thought he is. Someone I've always known isn't who I thought they were. But I don't really know you or who you say you is. So it was her trying to defend, or trying to not even defend, but trying to accuse Danny. That did make her look more guilty, honestly, even though she looked so adorable. Oh, the little girl, and she's, I think she used her little adorableness. She tried to use her advantage, and he kind of he's seen through it a little bit. So because he doesn't say anything at that point. He like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna figure it out, and then she leave. So we see that. We then see a little scene where Cedric's girlfriend, is it Browning? I think it's Browning. It's something to be. It is what it is. And she's coming to try to see Cedric. And Cedric is, I guess, just he didn't feel like being bothered. And instead of him just saying like, hey babe, I'm busy right now, answer the door and say, hey babe, I'm busy right now, you know what I'm saying? We can hook up later or whatever. He tell his roommate, tell her I ain't here. I just want to talk about myself. I don't want to be bothered. Tell her I ain't here. So the roommate does what roommates do. Yeah, hey, he ain't here right now. All right, bye. The dumb part is Cedric and his roommate don't even wait. You're supposed to wait a good 60 seconds. You're just not supposed to say shit, because you never know if someone is still listening to you at the damn door. And we know college dorm rooms and walls ain't but this damn thin. So, she hears them in the room talking right after they close the door, and she hear him say like, man, yeah, I just need some space to myself. So of course she's pissed off. So what's what it was. We then see like someone knocks at the door, and we assume it's her, and the friend like, dog, look, handle that. I ain't getting in the middle of it. That's what it is. So when Cedric opens the door, assuming it's his girlfriend, it's all these little men dressed in black robes. I'm like, he like, what y'all doing here? I'm like, clearly somebody pledging. It's his roommate, so it was what it was. We then see Eva going to see Jason. Now, I don't know why Eva and Jason are very awkward. It's not even awkward, but it's a thing where Eva don't want him to want her when she don't want him to want her. But we see that ain't how it go, and he really want her ass. So I'm like, but you can't have it both ways, because he's a little crazy deranged. Okay, he really is. So, he opened the door, and I feel like Eve was playing a dangerous game, because she wants him to want her. But again, only when she wants him to want her. That ain't how crazy deranged work. So, it's like I saw you at the protest. He like, yeah, it was what it was. And she like, I didn't expect you to propose to me before. He proposed at the end of season 1. And she's like, so it's kind of shocking. You're like, you know what? I was tripping. It's good. It is what it is. We both moving on, and I felt foolish about it anyway, so it's fine. And then he then said at the end of the semester, he's going to move back home. And, he like, we fine. All right, is that it? And she's like, oh, I just, we hadn't had time to talk. And he's like, yeah, we fine. We don't need to talk, all right. And then he escorts her out. And then she looks like, like a sad little soft puppy dog, because he not playing into her hands anymore. And he, to me, seemed like he gonna be more dangerous this way than he was before, because he's too dismissive. He's too, I don't want to talk to you. When anyone is like too much, I don't want to talk to you after I just stalked you all the way to this college, what they really doing is they planning some shit. He's planning either to murder you or rape you. It is what it is. So, I don't care about this person. I was gonna just bring up the whole thing when Eva went and talked to Cecil. You know, bringing up how she saw him acting up at the restaurant. You know, he saw her up in the corner slithering like a little snake with the people from the other college or whatever. And, you know, he like, you know, I don't need your help about this whole thing, me acting the fool. Because she's telling him, you know, you should sue if you feel like that other coach stole your music. And he's like, I don't need your help. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine. She's like, well, I know, you know, with all you're going through, you know, it might be difficult for you to listen to me. He's like, well, what you mean what I'm going through? She then brings up, when I was at the hospital, I saw you at the oncology department at the hospital. He's like, I don't know what you thought you saw, but you ain't see nothing. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess we both, you know, didn't see what we thought we saw, and she leaves. So that was really all that it was. But we know that he don't like her, as you see, he's like, I don't like being around you. And she don't like him either, but, you know, they have to work together, technically, as a thing. We then see Sydney run into who? Jason. I don't ever think when Jason runs into Sydney it's a coincidence. I really feel like he doing something. We just don't know what he doing. I don't know if he's going to try to use even being friends with Sydney to piss off Eva, or if he going to do something to Sydney to piss off Eva. So that part I really don't know yet. You know, and even though he seemed like a cool person to Sydney, like he's just another college person there, you know, just as well as she is. Because they're having a little small talk or whatever. It's like a little idle chit-chat. And then he throws in, like, you know, yeah, I still have your number, so maybe I'm calling you sometime. She's like, you know, sure, do that. And I'm like, oh, my God. It's a reason he not paying attention to Eva. I think he planning something with Sydney. So when that happened, I'll be like, I told y'all. Because it's going to be something. I hope you don't get her. Like, what if we trying to get her pregnant? Oh, my God, that'll be crazy. But, anywho. But he is cute. He's cute. He's crazy. He's a cute, crazy person. That's what it is. So, we then see Sydney has a whole little, you know, fuck my ex party for Madison, you know, invites all of the girls. They just in the room dancing to old random music. But I'm like, y'all put on songs and kept switching songs so much you couldn't even get a damn groove going. We see, that's all that thing really was. We do see Cedric, who was looking for his girlfriend, Bronin, and he figures out she's there. So he's knocking on the door. He's only penis there. Like, I just want to talk to her. And at the party, they were kind of smoking and was drinking, you know, doing whatever. And so when him and Bronin go out and talk, he's like, what are you doing? You don't drink, you don't smoke. What are you doing? She's like, I'm just doing this because it's fun today with these girls. You know, after that, I'm going to be good. So he's upset that she's kind of enjoying herself, smoking and drinking, what she doesn't do. But she's like, you know, I know you was at your house, your apartment the other day when I stopped by. So she's pissed about that. He like, I wasn't there. I'm like, you dummy, because you lying. If she said she knew you was there, she knew you was there. We don't say stuff but we don't know it, you dummy. And he like, I wasn't there. She's like, you know, I'm not an idiot. And then he walks away. So it's a dumb thing of, you know, he mad about something, she mad about something, but they ain't talking. But they kids don't talk about stuff because they stupid. The last couple scenes that we see is we see Sydney and Eva, and they're just having a conversation. And, you know, Eva's upset that the family, you know, wants her to apologize to, you know, Sydney's rapist. And Sydney's kind of to the point where it's like, I just want it all to be over. She's like, you know, if you apologize, well, that ended. And she, you know, she's like, you know, well, that doesn't even really matter, though, said. And she's like, you know, I think you should do it. We both need to move on from this. I think you should just go ahead and do it, period. And then, you know, we see Sydney get up and she walks away and everything. But we then see Jason was watching them because he's watching Sydney walk away. He planning something. I just don't know what it is. You know, we then see Cecil meeting with the band. And he's saying, you know, I know last year, whatever, was horrible. We're going to make up for this shit because we are a great, great band. You know, one band, one sound or whatever. And he's like, you know, we're a family. We're a team and we can win together. And he's like walking through whatever. And you see Noni y'all smiling all because, you know, she's happy to be in the band. And he's walking through. He's like, you know, we can do this, you know, if we all do it together, okay? But what we can't do that, you know, if we have a lying, disloyal, conniving rats. And he looks straight at Noni. And I'm looking like, well, that was very, you know, direct, Cecil. And he was like, you're out. Get your shit, get out. And she's like, sir, what are you talking about? He's like, I know what you did. Just, you know, I know what you did. You ain't got to admit it, but I know what you did. You know, just get out. He reminded me of Angela Bassett and Wait a Exhale, when she was like, get your shit, and get out. That's what it reminded me of her packing up her line, she nuts and stuff, and, you know, packing it all up in a little wagon and taking it to the car because because she didn't move, he's packing up her instrument. He snatched the instrument, put it in the little instrument suitcase thing or whatever. Get out. You're lot. You know, I can't get out. You off the team. You got the band. Go. And he did it in front of the whole band. Like, I know you ain't shit, basically. And she runs off crying. And then she leaves. I'm like, girl, okay. He did that. So then we see Eva doing the whole apology video that's been recorded by Tanisha, you know, and it wasn't more of an apology thing, like, we are so sorry. This great person, Terrence, lost his life. It wasn't that. It was, you know, we're sorry that he lost his life. He had his troubles. But, you know, loss of life is still sad. You know, she speaks about suicide and, you know, mental health awareness and how she's going to try to work better to make sure the students aren't suffering from mental illness. So it was an apology that the family couldn't say that she didn't give, but it also wasn't an apology that would make him seem like he was owed such this great person. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing of, we still lost someone. He was still a part of our GAMU family, and we are saddened by that. And, you know, Tanisha was like, you know, he don't deserve our tears. She's like, I know, he doesn't. And what made me mad was my dumbass DVR cut it off right after that scene. So the next thing that I seen is Sydney dreaming that she was fighting somebody in the whole self-defense class, and the person she was, you know, sparring with takes their helmet off, and it's her mom. And her mom was saying, you know, I'm good now that I know that you can defend yourself. And then my damn DVR cuts off. I'm like, I hate BT that never runs stuff on time and stuff end up getting cut off. Then I was going to go to On Demand to try to catch the last couple minutes of it, but I can't fast forward through the commercials, and I'm not going to watch that shit over for another hour. So that was the end of the goddamn episode for me. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. I will have a couple more up today, because today is review day. So yeah, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.